Video because of COVID-19, and also to show you what an exponential rise in numbers mean. In layman's terms, it means that the increase itself is increasing. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so it all kicked off in China around New Year's Eve. First reported cases. There were various people from the Wuhan area, either travellers from other countries that were travelling around China that then went back to their own countries, or people that that were from China that were infected by people from the original area. You know how a disease spreads, and took time to take hold. What then happened, as far as the US goes, is the first reported cases went slow, and it didn't go above 10 cases until the end of January. The increase then was pretty slow for the next few weeks, but as there were slightly more and more people, and there would have been more people out there not tested, passing off their symptoms as being just a bit of a sniffle because they had a very mild case, obviously it would have spread further, meaning there were more opportunities for it to spread from those infected people. As I said, you get the idea. So what we do is 1 week later, on February the 4th, it goes up by about 4, then it went up by 5. But then, February the 18th, is a little bit of a bigger increase. It went up by 11 in that week. What you've probably noticed is here on the curve, instead of being just a line going up like that, so that it would take 42 days to get above 30, it's actually ramped up a bit. What I want you to do as I keep on talking is keep your eye on these 4 dots and the scale on the left hand side of the graph, because what's going to happen is, as the numbers increase, it's going to flatten down this rise from being more like a little ramp to the rise, and then eventually almost like a straight line. I'll show you what I mean by just the next week, which is February the 25th. Now, on February the 26th, President Donald Trump said that there were 15 cases in the US and it would go down to 0. That was incorrect. He got that wrong. There were 60 cases on that day. The day before, there were 57. As you see now, the increase is increasing. March the 2nd was when the increase started picking up steam, so it would be noticeable again. As I said as well, keep your eye on these first 4 as the days continue, and keep your eye on the left-hand side of the graph as to how many cases, how the scale works. On March the 2nd, it reached more than 100, and then on March the 6th, it reached 300, just 4 days later. What that means in the middle is it was 185, and like I said, the increase increases, and those first 4 weeks are now beginning to look just like a ramp leading up. As I said, on the 6th, March the 6th, it was 300. Then it really started taking off. March the 7th, it surpassed 400. March the 8th, it surpassed 500. March the 9th, it surpassed 700. And then March the 10th, it went above 1,000. Those 4 at the beginning, that first month now, looks absolutely piddly compared to where we are now. So I'm recording this on March the 13th. We don't know what the figures will be at the end of March the 17th, less than 50 days after the start of all this. But what are the current numbers? Well, we know that Johns Hopkins University is keeping a track because the Centers for Disease Control are releasing the numbers, and right now, for the United States, it's above 1,700 1,701, which is just 3 days. We're not even halfway really between the two. So a realistic amount for that could be somewhere around 3,500. And as you see, now those 4 at the beginning, it's almost a flat line. It looks like there was nothing for 4 weeks. There was, compared to what we have now. Now, at every stage that I've taken you through, it has looked as though the increase has just absolutely skyrocketed, and everything before was piddly in comparison. And it was, because that's how an exponential rise looks. So that is why all the sporting events have been cancelled. That's why all of the schools are closing, because when this happens, you have no other option, because it goes from tens to hundreds to thousands within a week, to then it's going to be tens of thousands, and then hundreds of thousands, and then millions within 3 months. That's what an exponential rise is. That's what makes COVID-19 so dangerous. And that's why anybody that is calling this fake or a conspiracy, they're village idiots. Ignore them. Keep yourself safe. Wash your hands. Thank you.